Hello, everybody, and welcome back to yet another episode of the Crusty Couch podcast, the Halloween edition. Ooh,
Ooh,
spooky. I hope you're scared.
better beware, you're in for a scare.
Anyways, so in the last episode, if you missed that one, we started our tier list for horror movie franchises. What's the best? What's the worst? Here it is right now on the screen for your reference, in case you missed the first episode.
Beautiful.
You should really go back and listen to it though. But anyways, we're gonna be finishing it hopefully in this episode.
Yeah.
And we're gonna do some of the rest of the stuff a little bit later on in the month. But for now, I'm joined by my lovely, voluptuous host, Paul,
Hello.
as we finish up this tier list.
Yes, and notice how we don't have anything in the A category yet.
I know. that was surprising to me too when I was looking back on it. But I'm sure that we'll find something to put there.
It just, I don't know. I guess these like types of movies, it's really it comes down to if it's good or not. That's it.
Yeah.
So it's like you got either an S or you got like a D or an F.
It's really difficult too because we're judging these things by franchises. Like, so, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the first one, and like Halloween and even the first Hellraiser are like classics. They're great movies, but they're unfortunately bogged down by a terrible fucking sequels. Terrible sequels.
Yeah. Depending, maybe next year we can do it just on a villain or something. But this year, I think rating the whole series is the best way for us to get canceled. So
yeah, for us people to see that list and people to be like, "What the fuck is this?"
Dude, you don't understand how much people get upset if you call out like their favorite villain or favorite etc. They get so mad.
Oh yeah, dude. I bet
There are really big people that are, there are really a lot of people that are into these sorts of things. Like I had a girlfriend once who had like a Halloween tattoo and stuff because they loved Halloween too much. Yeah, I'm like, okay.
I like Halloween, but not that much.
Yeah, she had a full like leg tattoo of Halloween. I'm just like, all right. Or thigh tattoo. Yeah.
Goddamn. So I don't know, man. I'm seeing our list here and I'm like, this is pretty solid. There is one that I've been kind of going back and forth on, and I told you about it yesterday. But it's hard to justify.
Okay.
So I brought up yesterday to Paul that I was really unhappy with where we put Halloween on the list. Because I was looking back at the franchise, right, in its total. I just watched the 2018 remake after, I don't know, just not ever getting around to seeing it. And I was like, you know what? This isn't bad. I haven't seen Halloween Kills yet, so maybe that one's fucking horrible, but
okay.
And I'm like, out of all of the movies, I think that only 2 of them are incredibly unwatchable. The rest are fine. Unlike Hellraiser, where
Hellraiser is top kinography. You ever see that movie, The Cube?
I have seen it. Yeah. It was on Netflix. Yeah.
Kino.
So just know that I'll settle with Halloween on D tier, but on my personal list, it's on A tier.
Really? You're gonna move it all the way to an A?
I'll put it low B.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's more like it.
I'll put it low B. Yeah.
That's more like it.
Okay, so I don't remember who left off last, so you just go first. You pick the next horror franchise.
Okay, well, I suppose we could start off with something that everybody knows about. So we'll start with what's the Scream killer name? Ghostface. All right, we'll start with Ghostface. Yeah, well, what's his face? Scream. They're pretty all right slasher films. Pretty typical.
How many are there? Is there 3?
There's like 4 now. They at least keep it very short and simple and clean. So that's what.
There's 5.
Well, there's 5.
One is coming out next year. Oh yeah, it was just announced. I'm stupid. There was just literally a trailer for it like 3 days ago.
Oh really?
Yeah,
I didn't know. Well, yeah, the latest one was the 4th one.
Yeah,
right?
and that was in
It's like a reboot.
2011. Yep.
Yeah.
So,
But pretty all right slasher. It's like one of the friends is doing it. Bum bum bum. You don't know. Whoa.
Immediately spoil it.
I mean, come on. Like, come on.
It's almost 20 years old, or it's over 20 years old now at this point. So
People have made like fucking tons of. There's Halloween costumes and there's fucking like funny ghost faces, like the bong rip one and stuff. Like I can make fun of it. Like, come on. Or I can spoil it a little bit.
Yeah, I love that was always one of the most desired Halloween masks, the ghost face mask with the blood that was coming out of it. Do you
Because
remember
it's so
that?
easy. You don't have to put any effort in it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
just buy the costume and it's good enough on its own, you know.
Buy that in a robe and you're good to go.
Yeah, like that's it. It's solid.
So my opinion is like the first Scream movie is really good. It changed the game and it kind of revitalized the dying slasher genre.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, I haven't really seen the sequels as frequently as I watch Scream, so I don't really remember them that well. So it'll be difficult for me to properly judge them. I remember liking them, but Scream for me, like that movie alone would probably put it in like the B or A tier for me.
Yeah. Probably around there. I what I like is that the killer is just a regular dude.
Wait, but you said you hated that about Michael Myers.
No, I didn't. Did I?
All right, roll the tape. Roll the tape back. I'll find the clip. That's one of the things I hated the most. I hate the most about the Halloween series is like when Michael Myers takes his mask off and when you see his eyes, he should clearly be a fucking zombie at this point, but he's still just a guy.
Yeah.
And they just like they don't explain how he keeps coming back. He just keeps doing it because it's lazy screenwriting.
Yeah. But see, that's another point why I rated Halloween so low, because I mentioned that it was pretty damn generic.
Yeah.
But it's also that the main bad guy is just, he's just a human. He's just a regular guy. A human. A human. A human.
I'll find it.
Okay, well, if I did, then it's a different circumstance. No, wait, I said no, I remember saying I didn't like Michael Myers that much because people just they would clap Michael and he would come back the next day.
Uh-huh.
So why? Yeah, right. I don't know. All right, forget it then. Well, if I didn't like Michael, then I don't like Ghostface. How about that? Huh?
No, I'm just breaking your balls. I am gonna try to find the audio and try to prove you wrong. But
I just think the thriller, it's more of a thriller rather than a horror flick that Michael Myers tries to be or Halloween tries to be.
Okay,
I think that's probably the difference for me because it's a lot. I feel like there's more suspense in the Scream films.
Yeah,
because it's more of a mystery thriller thing.
That's true. Yeah, you're trying to figure out who's doing it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I can see your reasoning there.
So I think I like it more for that reason as opposed to just a traditional thriller.
Like I personally love like more personal or not personal, but like when the killer is a human, like when it's just a guy. I actually like that more, but you know, like to each their own. Like the Scream movies are solid to me. And you're right, they do serve as like a fun mystery the first go about. Like if you haven't seen them, it's fun to try to figure it out. And I like movies that kind of lead you along the path and like try to keep you on your toes, but don't withhold information from you. And I don't think Scream does that. It's nice. Yeah.
I think it's fine. I'd give it like a B.
Yeah.
Solid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Nothing to scream about.
Okay. So next up, let's do The Exorcist. Another one that people will know.
Oh my God! Did you hear that? All the things that happened on set during the
film. Where let me see, the set burned down mysteriously. Nobody knew how it burned down. They tried to bring a priest to bless the set, and he refused to do it. And then there was some other stuff too. I know there's some other weird shit about this movie.
I don't know.
But
all I know is that there was a bunch of things that happened on set or whatever, and people are all freaked out about it.
Yeah. What do you think of The Exorcist? I'm curious.
I think it's good, but it doesn't. Hmm, I don't know if it holds to time very well
Yeah.
anymore.
I
Like,
think its reputation, it's ruined by its own reputation, I think. Like people have this in their head as like this is the scariest movie ever made. It's like no,
yeah,
it's not.
no, it's not. It's really not.
Yeah.
It's very
Some
lackluster. I mean, it's
some
good, but it's
yeah.
nothing crazy.
Yeah, like some people in the modern day would probably find this movie really boring. Like
Mm-hmm.
not a whole lot happens in this movie. Like
Oh, yes. That makes a lot of sense to me as to
yeah.
why I think it doesn't stand to time anymore, to the test of
Mhm.
time.
Mhm.
Because a lot of the movies that come out now, like the B movie schlock and stuff,
Mhm.
it all has to do with demons.
Yep.
It's
Mhm.
all demon shit.
There's been
So,
like 70 billion exorcism movies since then.
yeah, there's like so many exorcism movies and like The Haunting of Blank, like there's so many of those kinds of movies,
Yeah.
and some of them are actually really well done. Like I think Haunting of starts with a C.
Connecticut?
Connecticut? Is it Connecticut? I don't
I
know.
don't know. Yeah.
There's some of those movies that do a good job, or like The Conjuring. I like The Conjuring.
Yeah, The Conjuring is pretty good.
Um, they do a good job. I like them just solely for like atmospheric reasons, not like
Yeah.
jump scare shit. I don't
Yeah.
really care for that.
Okay.
But they do a good job. But again, a lot of these movies have to do with like demons and
Mhm.
exorcisms and all that stuff. So people are just really like uh their
Numb to it.
resistance
Yeah.
to it is very high. So
Yeah.
when they go back in time and they go to watch the scariest movie of all time, it's like, yeah, it's not that scary.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's creepy. And if you were some Bible thumping like dude or gal back in the 1980s when this movie came out, yeah, you'd probably shit your pants. But
Yeah, and that
l-
that's the thing about this movie, that's how it got its reputation. At the time, there was nothing out there like The Exorcist. Like,
yeah,
some of the most fascinating things is watching, news footage. People put cameras in the theaters when this movie was out, and just seeing how people react to this movie is so fucking crazy to me. Like, it's like nothing I've ever seen before. People are so numb to, like, gross out weird religious horror these days
hmm
that there will probably not be something else like The Exorcist again.
I will say it was imitated by another series. I guess we could talk about that series later,
Mhm.
but we could do it back to back. Let's do a back
Yeah,
to back
we
one.
can lump it now, yeah.
All right. So, uh, in conjunction with like the Exorcism, there was also another series later on
Mhm.
during our time that had the same effect. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Are you referring to Paranormal Activity?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, that movie sucked.
Oh, all of those movies are fucking F tier.
They're fucking garbage. But
Yeah,
people shit themselves when that movie came out.
yeah.
I don't know why. I really don't.
It was
But I think it's the same kind of concept. It's like maybe they're not as Bible thumping, but like they're very what's the word?
superstitious.
Superstitious. Yeah, it's very superstitious people went into the theaters and they see this like house similar to their own or like apartment or whatever, and like paranormal stuff is happening. Ooh, and
Yeah.
it's like, oh no, that could be happening to me in my house.
Oh
Like
my
that.
god. Yeah.
Yeah, so people get scared and they used to freak out over that movie, and it was the same thing. They did the cameras within the theaters to show off
Mhm.
like the reactions and all that stuff, and it
Yeah.
was exactly the same tactics.
I
So
remember the trailer for the first Paranormal Activity movie was just people reacting to it. And
yeah,
then at the end, it was like, "Call your local theater to get a screening of Paranormal Activity," or
yeah,
all that. I remember it was a big fucking thing, and,
yeah,
um, yeah, those movies are terrible, all of them are fucking
yeah.
garbage,
I remember
all of 'em.
for like good long time, a good month or so, people were talking about that movie nonstop, and then
Yep.
they told me if I've seen it, and I go, no, it doesn't look that good, and they're like, oh, you should watch it, it's so scary, and I'm like, okay, I'll go watch it, and I had it at my house, and I watched it alone in my room, and I was waiting for like the big scares, but it was a really boring home flick. I'm like,
surprised you
okay,
fucking stayed awake the whole time. Yeah.
yeah, I'm like, okay, like that was fucking boring.
But to quickly go back to The Exorcist so we can rank it. The sequel to The Exorcist, The Exorcist 2, is fucking horrible. It's really, really
Oh,
bad.
dude, yeah, they're terrible.
But the third one, The Exorcist 3, The Heretic, is actually really fucking good.
I don't think I've
It's
seen that one.
it's a great like murder mystery type
Hmm.
thing where there's like a serial killer going around, and it doesn't really have to do with the first two movies that much.
Oh.
It's just fucking great, man. It's such a bone-chilling type movie, and it has one of the best jump scares I think I've ever seen, like, one of the most
Hmm.
perfectly executed jump scares.
Hmm.
So if you haven't seen Exorcist 3, for everybody out there, definitely check it out, like
I don't think I've seen that one. I should probably check it out. I've
yeah,
only seen the second one
the
where
second one is
it takes.
horrible.
Yeah, it's the one that takes place in Egypt, right?
Yeah, yeah,
That was garbage.
where you find out the name of the demon because you really needed to know that information.
Yeah, so bad.
Pazuzu. It's so bad.
So bad.
Um,
I'd give Exorcism. Well, since I've only seen the first one, I'd give just the first one. Even I'd give it like a yeah. It has great atmosphere. I'll give it that much. I'll give it an A. I'll give it
yeah,
an A.
that's where I would feel comfortable putting it because the third one is legitimately really great. So, like,
Hmm.
2 out of 3, it's not bad.
Yeah, great atmosphere. It's a good film. Very slow burn though,
Yes, it is pretty
and
slow.
it is definitely not the scariest movie on the planet, but
No,
it is a good movie.
no,
I'll give it that much.
the scariest movie on the planet is fucking having to sit through Thanksgiving and trying to stay awake. All right, I think it's your turn.
Oh, and rating Paranormal Activity as well.
Oh, that's
I'd give that an F,
yeah.
like auto F. That's
Yep.
so schlocky. I can't believe it went on that long.
F for falling asleep.
All
All right.
right, next one. I think it'd be fun to do The Ring. Have you seen The Ring?
I have seen The Ring.
Have you seen The Ring 2 and 3?
And I haven't seen those, but I've seen the remake of The Ring called Rings.
Oh,
So I can I can kind of talk about that. But go ahead, Paul. Why don't you go nuts on the ring?
uh, it's good. At least the first one.
Yeah, yeah.
I think the rest of it is pretty shit, but the first one's pretty good. It's especially the original one too. The
Mm.
original one's pretty lit. It's a different feel, but it's the same
Yeah, it's
essentially.
called Ringu, right?
Yeah, Ringu.
Yeah,
Um,
Japanese horror film.
yeah, but they're both good. Standard boy meets girl type of deal, you know.
Yeah, yeah, a nice wholesome love story. Uh,
Between the guy and this TV.
yeah,
I think if you were home alone watching The Ring, that'd be a pretty good time.
yeah. The first time I saw The Ring, I was probably way too young. I was probably like 10. And it
Mhm.
fucking traumatized me. Like I was so scared by this movie. Um, since I've seen it again in recent years, it still holds up really well. I think it's a really effective horror movie. Um,
Mhm.
but it's one I feel like you need to kind of like ease yourself into. Like you shouldn't show it to a kid, maybe.
Hmm. Well, yeah, there's some pretty gory scenes.
Yeah, and the sequels and the remake are fucking terrible. Like Rings is so fucking bad, dude. Oh, okay, so I guess we can just explore the entire origin of the character of the main girl, and then
Mhm.
we can figure out like she's like a cursed thing, and here's this guy that lives out in the swamp, and he knows all about the ring girl for some reason. And it's just like it's so fucking bad. It was so dumb.
Yeah, I think for that reason that this series didn't get very far, so
Yeah.
I can't really give it anything higher than a D for me.
Yeah, yeah. Unfortunately, the first one is good, but it doesn't really save it from all the other ones.
Yeah, it's just not enough IMO.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do Alien.
Alien? Is that a horror film?
It's on here. It's on this list, and yeah, it is. The first one definitely is.
Yeah. It's a different kind of horror, I guess. It's legitimately just atmosphere.
Yeah, I really do. I really think that Alien is a horror film. The first one is, and then
Yeah.
as time goes on, it kind of becomes more of like a sci-fi thriller,
Yeah.
more so than horror. But the first one definitely is a horror movie. Like it's got the really dense atmosphere, a lot of really tense moments, and the tagline for the movie, it's straight up horror, dude. In space, no one can hear you scream.
Oh yeah, that's true.
The fuck? That's awesome.
It's awesome. That is actually really good.
Such a banger tagline. I would see that. Like if I was in the 70s or whatever when this movie came out, I'd be like, hey, baby, this movie looks shaken.
Yeah. Hey, Gajubal, let's go. What kind of things? What kind of sweet talk would they say back then?
Get those gazangas in here.
get those milkshakes over here, babe.
Get that groovy gravy train up on in here.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Get that pink Cadillac.
Okay, all
right. Anyways, okay, yeah, you know what? Fair enough. At first Alien, amazing. Aliens is a good series, but it's not a horror series after the first one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I don't know. I guess in this regard, I think we should just rate Alien on its own.
Okay.
Because it's like I said, like I'm not even gonna knock the rest of the series because I think the rest of the series is pretty good on its own.
Mm-hmm.
Some better than others, obviously, but
yeah.
I don't think like they're terrible. They're good. They're good action films.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair.
But,
like Aliens is a really great action movie.
Yeah, and I think it happens the same way with like Terminator.
Yep.
Because the first Terminator movie is like a horror film.
Yeah.
And then or like a thriller, and then they switch over to nothing but action. So
yep, that's true. Okay.
So in that regard, since it's like that, we should allow just rating Alien in this regard.
Okay. So for me, I would probably put Alien either an A or S tier.
Yeah.
Because I think that like, yeah, it's just atmosphere and there's not really like a big scare or anything like that. But I think that like it's so like perfectly made. Like the sets, you really believe that they're on a spaceship, and
Yeah.
the alien doesn't look that great. Like the costume is kind of cheesy looking and in some scenes, but I really feel like they pull it off of like hiding it nicely, covering it in darkness, and like just having scenes that are super tense. And I mean, yeah, I think it's just fucking great.
I would give it an S.
Yeah.
I love the atmosphere. Love the look of the ship. Love the look of the alien. I just love Geiger stuff. He's cool.
He's a fucking weird dude, but he's great.
Yeah, he's weird, but I love his fucking his set pieces and stuff. They're amazing.
Yeah. Pour one out for him. Rest in peace.
Pour one out.
Yeah, he was great. I mean, the xenomorph is like one of the most iconic designs in film history. Like everybody knows what this is, it's so great. And like, I don't know, just the fact that like you really feel how deadly this fucking thing is too. Like most movies, like, oh, he's the ultimate hunter, but with Alien, you feel it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
As the team gets slowly like picked apart.
Picked off one by one, yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty good. I recommend Alien if you've never seen it. And then if you're so
a disservice, yeah.
Yeah, you gotta watch it. And then if you have like if you want to see more of Alien, like you can watch the rest, but it's not the same tone.
No, it's not. It's pretty different.
It goes full born action film.
Yep.
But there's a lot of good moments and a lot of good quotes and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, get away from her, you bitch!
You bitch. Yeah.
I love that line. Or what's the line that the Marine says in the first movie where he's like scared. I forgot what he says. Oh, I think it's just game over, man. Yeah. Game over.
That was the second one.
Oh, is that the second one? Okay, well, still, either way, great dialogue. Same dialogue as in the first one. There's a lot of good dialogue. I just can't remember.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a great time.
Yes, indeed. Okay. So S tier. Good stuff. Good stuff. Let's see. I want to try and do like a more modern movie.
Okay.
Okay, I got one. Let's do Annabelle.
Oh God, Annabelle.
Yeah, that's like a really modern piece, and we'll throw the Conjuring in with it, I guess, because they're part of the same universe.
So what's it called? The James Wan verse. We're gonna do.
Is that sure? Yeah, the James Wan verse.
Okay. So does that include also what are those other movies called? Insidious or whatever?
Is that part of the same films?
I think
The
so.
same
It's all
world?
part of the same fucking universe.
Really? I haven't seen those. I've seen.
So.
Okay, I've seen Conjuring 1, Conjuring 2, then the Conjuring Nun one.
Oh God.
I don't think I've seen the third Conjuring. I know there's a third one. Then for Annabelle, I've seen the first one, and I don't know if I've seen the rest.
Okay,
Forgot how many there are.
So the Conjuring universe, I'll break it down for you. Ready? It's The Conjuring, Annabelle, The Conjuring 2, Annabelle Creation, The Nun, The Curse of La Llorona for some reason.
Oh yeah.
And Annabelle Comes Home.
That's right. Yes, I've seen most of it. Yeah, I've seen most of it.
All right, so
I haven't seen the third Annabelle movie, the Comes Home one. I've seen Creation and then the first one.
Yeah.
I have not seen Crooked Man. Oh, Crooked Man's in development. Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Nun though.
I also have not
sorry, I have seen The Nun. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I have not seen The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. That's the third one.
That one just came out, yeah.
Yeah, I have not seen that one. So I haven't really seen like 2 out of all of them, huh?
Yeah.
I thought there was more.
No, it just because they come out like every year, so it seems like there's more. I am not a big fan of these movies personally. I think they're all kind of like generic. Like if there was a Marvel for horror movies, it would be this. Like they're all just kind of the same cookie cutter movies that have references to one another and they're in the same universe. Like it's just so like boring to me and very blech. I don't know. Like I don't know how else to say it. It's just very just like corporate.
Yeah. Okay. Understandable. You see that.
Like I think the worst one of this list that I've seen probably like 5 of them. The worst one of this list is The Curse of La Llorona. That movie is really, really, really fucking bad, and it's such a missed opportunity.
I didn't know about that one. That's funny.
Yeah, it's the folktale of La Llorona is really interesting and like it's fucking scary too. Like it's a story told to scare like little Mexican kids or whatever, like me. But like god damn that movie sucked. It doesn't even go like that in detail into like the folklore behind it and it just becomes like a shitty jump scare fest from like minute 1.
Is the monster design good though?
It's okay, you know, it's what you'd expect. Just a woman with like black tears, and she's like pale. She's like a zombie lady. She's wearing a wedding dress. It's okay, but the rest of the movie around it is not very good at all.
Yeah. Okay.
But then I suppose with the Llorona, you can't really do a full length movie. I don't think there's enough to her there, but like a short film would be fucking great.
Short film would be good. All right. I don't know if people care about the Curse of La Llorona, but I'm kind of interested in how they defeat it. You know, or do they give her like a fake baby or something?
From what I can remember, I think they just kill her.
Like, cool.
They put like a salt thing around the house, and then
that's so lame.
Yeah, like I don't think they really deal with it. I think maybe she takes the main character's kids.
Okay, that's more like it.
Yeah, it was really shitty. I don't even remember. but they try to perform like an exorcism and stuff, and like typically like in the story, if you people don't know the story of La Llorona, I'll go over it really quick. Basically, from the story that I've heard, because it's very different all throughout, was a woman fell in love with a king and she had 2 kids, but this king didn't want to be with her because she already had 2 kids. So she was so madly in love with this guy and so heartbroken that she resorted to drowning her 2 kids in the river. And then she said she came back to the king and said, "Hey, like I got rid of him. Now we can be together." And he said, "You're fucking crazy." I think in the story he either executes her or just says, "Go the fuck away," and then she ends up killing herself. And then when she goes to heaven, God is like, "Bitch, you fucking killed your kids. Like, you're gonna wander around in purgatory forever until you find them." So that's her ghost. She wanders around the earth through the rivers looking for her children. And that's why she screams, "Ay mis hijos" in Spanish and "Oh my children" in English. But the interesting thing about the Llorona is it's a very well known thing about her that if she sounds far away, you need to run because that means she's like right in front of you. She's like right next to you or something. Like she's really close to you. The closer she sounds, the further away she is.
Yeah. Did
And
they at least give her that voice line? You
she
know,
kinda goes like, "I," like that, like,
that's so
she just
lame.
kinda weeps, yeah.
That's so lame.
Yeah, I mean, it just wasn't very, like, interesting, and that's such a great, like, story, like, to scare the shit out of people,
Mhm.
um, so I think for that reason alone, it kinda knocks down the Conjuring universe a lot, but The Conjuring is pretty good, the first one.
Yeah. I really like the first one. I
Yeah,
think the first one, when it first came out, I was like, "Damn, this is good stuff," you know?
yeah, it was pretty solid, yeah,
Because a lot of the stuff that was coming out at the time, or I mean, it's still coming out now, but
yeah,
is nothing but schlock. Like a lot of stuff is crap
mhm,
in horror movies. A lot of it really leaned on jump scares and
yep,
stuff like that.
yep,
And The Conjuring kind of, I think it kind of like made fun of that a little bit
mhm,
because there were some parts where they do like a good fake out and stuff like that. And it's like, oh, okay, like that was actually pretty good. You got
yeah,
me, you know?
yeah.
Yeah, or like the atmosphere is pretty good and stuff like that. Like I remember enjoying it quite a bit.
Yeah,
It, it wasn't the best, but I enjoyed it.
it was definitely different from what was coming out at
It
the
was
time.
very different at the time.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was a breath of fresh air when it came out, and then after that they just kept going. And
And then they just
well,
kinda fucking ruined it, yeah.
yeah, then you have movies like the Annabelle series. It's like, oh god,
Not very
please,
good. So,
please.
I guess to, make a long tangent short, The Conjuring Universe would probably rank it like a C or D to me
I mean,
because, like
most of it's schlock, so I would still give it like a D or F,
okay,
except the first one.
we can do D. I don't know if you've seen, Annabelle Comes Home.
No.
That one's not too bad. That one's okay. The other
Alright.
2 Annabelle movies are pretty fucking terrible, but the Annabelle Comes Home one, that one's not bad, but I would agree with you. I'd probably put it in D tier.
I'll at least give, like, the monsters, they look good
Yeah,
as
that's
far
true.
as monsters go.
They do look nice.
Like the nun looked really good.
Yeah.
I liked the design, but everything else I was like, "Eh, not interested."
Alright, so
So
we'll put that in D tier. Okay, so it's my turn now. Well, since I picked Alien, why don't we do Predator?
God damn it. Is that I don't think that's a horror movie at all.
Okay, you know what? Never mind. We'll skip that one. You're right. It's all just action.
That's straight up action.
It's a
Like,
straight up
yeah,
action
it's
movie.
suspenseful, but
Yeah.
it's nothing but action. There's one of the biggest memes on out there is two manly men fucking, gripping each other's fists
Yeah.
with their muscles popping out, and that's from Predator. I'm like, okay.
Okay. So, we'll do Jeepers Creepers, but let me just preface this by saying, there's a lot of shit about the creator of Jeepers Creepers that's genuinely disturbing, and he needs to be in prison.
Oh
Um,
yeah, I know what you're talking
but
about.
we're separating art from the artist here,
Yeah.
and trying to remain as unbiased as possible. But I want to make it very clear that the person who made Jeepers Creepers should be buried under the prison.
Yeah, he's a fucking weirdo.
Yeah, so just throwing that out there. But for me, Jeepers Creepers is like a solid like D or C. Um,
Yeah,
the first
it's
one was
okay.
decent. And then the other ones are fucking awful.
Yeah.
They made like a billion of them.
Yeah, it's very it's not the greatest. I like the theme song. Jeepers Creepers.
Yeah.
Besides that, I'm like, it's all right.
I remember my family watching this movie when it first came out in 2001, and seeing the design of him freaked me out so hard. I was like, "Holy shit, that is scary." Like, I'm like, "This is the scariest movie ever made."
Yeah.
And I didn't want to see it for a while, and then I finally checked it out, and I was like, I don't know what the fuck I was scared of.
Yeah, it's not. It's very campy. I feel.
Yeah,
Not that, it's not like scary. I mean, it's good. I mean, it's okay. I give
yeah,
it, like I said, it's whatever. I'd probably give it like a C. It's just the kills are probably I mean, a lot of the kills happen off screen, and then
yeah. It's one of those kind of horror movies.
you kind of see the remains afterwards, like because the whole shtick of this one is Jeepers Creepers needs to eat people's organs or whatever to get strong, and then
Yeah,
he picks apart the team throughout the movie, and like the best parts are just like seeing the corpse missing this part of their body or whatever, like.
yeah.
But besides that, it's very whatever. Like I said, the kills happen off camera, so.
Yeah, it was during the time where like the censor boards were really cracking down on gore and stuff, and so a lot of the kills had to be off screen, unfortunately. It's kind of something too that ruins, not really ruins, but lessens the Friday the 13th movies. A lot of the kills in that movie are done off screen, but you can find bootlegs versions of like deleted scenes of that of those movies, and you can see the kills fully. It's like it's super low quality, of course, because the film is degraded over time, but it's fucking
Yeah,
crazy to watch. Like such good special effects. But we already talked about Friday the 13th.
that's cool. Yeah. No, I don't. I'm not the biggest fan of the Jeepers Creepers films. I'd give it I'd give it like I think it's a good time. People are still waiting on the third one, but it's probably not going to happen anymore.
I put it on the low D tier.
Yeah, like a D, I think, for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Jeepers Creepers movie is actually based on a true story.
Is it really?
Yeah, the director actually turns into Jeepers Creepers that night.
Just like
You know what? I got an actual good one that you probably have seen and you'd probably like it. It's an in-between film.
Okay.
And it's called Krampus. Have you seen Krampus?
Oh my god, the fucking Christmas horror movie. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Dude,
Krampus.
it's really good.
It's made by the same guy who did Trick or Treat. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, is it?
I'm looking it up right now, but I'm pretty
Dude,
sure.
Krampus is actually really damn good. Like it's so funny. It's a funny movie and it's a really good horror film at the same time.
Yeah, he did both. He did Trick or Treat and Krampus.
See, I like Krampus a lot better than Trick or Treat.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
I think Krampus is damn good.
Krampus is fucking incredible. Like it's based off of the I guess the evil Santa.
Yeah, it's the evil version of Santa, like the demon version where he steals your children.
Yeah.
Or if a child behaves bad, Krampus comes to take you to hell or something.
Yeah. But just like the movie is very funny, like you said, and it has like amazing atmosphere and sound design. Like the sounds of his chains moving around, and like he has a real presence all throughout the movie. And I think that the CGI on him looks fucking great.
Yeah.
It really fell under the radar, this movie.
It did. And it's kind of upsetting because I think it's really good. It's a good Christmas film, good Halloween film. You can watch it whenever you want.
Yeah, seriously. Like if you want to watch like a spooky Christmas movie, then there you go. Krampus is it for you. It's
or if you want a nice family Christmas outing,
Yeah.
show your 3-year-olds this movie. Come on, kids. Christmas is tomorrow. And then you show them that, and just have fun with it.
Yep.
They'll be scarred for life. It'll be great.
Fuck it, what else are kids good for than just ruining
now your kids can shut the fuck up when I'm trying to sleep. Santa's not coming.
Shut the fuck up! I'm trying to fuck your mom.
Leave some cookie and milk.
All right. So for me, yeah, I'd probably put Krampus in like the A tier, A or S tier for me.
Yeah. I'm gonna put it. Man, we have Trick or Treat at S, and for me, I would put Trick or Treat at an A, but I would put Krampus at an S.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say it's an S.
I would have it swapped. I would have Trick or Treat at S and Krampus at A.
Yeah, say damn. Okay, well, I'm not the editor of this video, so you put it where you want. But for me, it's an S.
I have the final say, Paul. I'm gonna put it at F. Despite you.
F. Yeah, this movie's shit.
Okay, so yeah, Krampus is a great time. Both Krampus and Trick or Treat kind of fell under the radar when they first came out. They both have kind of cult followings now.
Yeah.
But, unfortunately, they kind of fell under the radar. And that's a shame because they're both great.
It always happens that way, though. It's just, it's like I said, the Halloween, or not Halloween, the horror market is not very good as is now.
No, it's not.
It's not good. And there's going to be people who may be upset at me for saying that, but it's the truth.
Yeah.
The horror genre is really dog shit for the most part.
I mean, yeah,
there's a lot of schlock.
There's a shit ton of movies released every year that are very like copy paste, and then there's occasional movies that come out that are really great, and then no one sees them.
Yep, because people don't want to see them.
Yeah,
they think, when they think horror, they think something jumping out at screen.
Yep.
And that's it's not horror.
Like there's a movie that kind of flew under the radar that came out like a week ago. I haven't seen it myself, unfortunately, but I really fucking want to. It's called Lamb. Have you heard of it?
Yeah, I've been wanting to see it. I haven't gone yet.
But that's another movie that's flying under the radar, unfortunately.
Yeah, probably will. I mean, I haven't heard much about it yet, but when I saw it, I was like, "Oh, that looks pretty good." But then I remember, huh?
And I said, "I know, right?"
Yeah, and funny enough, is when I went to go see Venom 2.
Oh god.
Yeah, I know, not the greatest movie, I'll tell you right now. But I went to go see Venom 2 with my buddies, and Lamb came out as a trailer, and the whole theater was like, "What the fuck is that?" Like they're all not liking it very much. They thought it looked funny, and they thought it was just a silly movie. And I'm like, "Oh, I don't know. Like it might be pretty good."
It was like that when we saw the trailer for The Witch too. People were like laughing or like making fun of it, and I was just like, "Shut up, fuck you guys."
Yeah,
I really wanted to see it.
It's because they don't have big brains like us, no way. Okay,
they don't understand Chokino.
They just don't get it.
Yeah. Yeah,
I just think the horror genre has been very skewed towards jump scares and stuff, and people don't really pay attention to atmosphere anymore. It's just kind of upsetting to me.
Yeah, I mean, there's always been those like crowd pleasing type movies that exist out there, and like, it just upsets me when people go see like the same shit over and over and over again. With very little variance. But again, I'm guilty of it. Like I love the Halloween movies and pretty much the same fucking movie every time.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, I also support smaller movies. So fuck you guys, we're different.
Lol. Lol. Yeah.
Kick W.
Kick W. It would fall in the same realm as like Hereditary, and what was the other one? Midsommar. Like those are great horror films, but they're very slow, not very scary. I think we talked about it in the last part.
Yeah, we did.
But yeah, I highly recommend that type of horror film as opposed to like jump scare film. Like anything with great atmosphere is always a win for me, because the way I see horror films is like you have to when I leave a horror theater a horror movie from the theater or whatever, I want to be creeped out the rest of the night. Like I want to
Yeah,
feel
you
like,
wanna be thinking about it.
yeah, I want to be thinking about it. I want to be like I want to have the feeling of something's lurking in the
Yeah,
dark and stuff
yeah,
like that, you know?
yeah.
Like that's the good stuff. But
Dude,
a
when
jump scare can just happen. Like if I go see a jump scare movie, I'm gonna get scared, but it's not the same type of scares.
you're gonna be jumped though, like, you're just
Yeah,
gonna, like,
I'm gonna get startled. That's the better word.
yeah, there you go.
I'll be startled, but I won't be scared. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah. That's fair, that's
'Cause
totally fair, yeah.
yeah, no, I think a lot of people confuse being startled than being scared.
Yep.
So it's a shame. It's a shame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is a
What?
shame.
I forgot what movie we were talking about. Wasn't it Jeepers Creepers? What? How the fuck did we? How did we get all the way over here?
Well, anyways, in a nutshell, that's how the universe was created. What were we talking about?
Yeah, really, dude. How the fuck did we get here?
Well, we're kind of running low on movies to talk about on this list here. We're
I mean,
kind of
I got more movies we could talk about, but
nearing the end of the tier list.
yeah,
Um,
we're getting there.
I wanted to
Uh,
ask you,
mm,
so I think I have the next pick, right?
sure. Unless we,
Shit.
unless you want to keep going on this topic, what's up?
And I think I've said all I had to say about this topic.
Hmm.
What do you think of like zombie movies in general? How many have you seen? What do you think of them?
I've seen a lot of zombie movies.
Uh-huh.
You know, you got the Resident Evil, you got Night of the Living Dead, you have Return of the Night of the Living Dead.
It's just
uh,
Return of the Living Dead.
oh yeah, excuse me. There you go.
That one's
Return of the Living Dead.
that one's my
Then
favorite zombie movie.
really, then you
Yes.
have like 28 Days Later, 28 Years Later. You have all those films.
Yeah.
And you got a bunch of other types of zombies. I hate this trope, by the way.
Uh-huh.
I hate that zombie films don't call their zombies anymore.
Oh, yeah.
They just go, "Oh, you gotta watch out for them biters.
The
You gotta,
biters,
you
walkers,
gotta watch out for
infected.
the walkers,
Yeah.
the lurkers, the crawlers." Like they just keep renaming them. It's like, just call them fucking zombies. God, zombies is not patented. Just fucking call them zombies. Jesus. But yeah, people. Or sorry, there's a lot of different types, but they're all under the same umbrella, which is a zombie
Yep.
film.
Yep.
So there's a lot of zombie movies up. I think it's kind of blown out. Zombies aren't scary.
No,
They're not.
they're not.
They're really not. They might have been a while, when the first movie came out. See, a lot of these horror franchises and stuff,
Um,
they were scary when they first came out. In the 1980s, when nobody has seen any like sort of horror film, like these were all frightening, right?
yeah.
So any boomers or whatever watching this podcast, anyone over the age of 30 plus, they're gonna go, when I saw that movie, I was shitting my pants. You know, and it's like, well, yeah, you were, because it was the first time you've ever seen something like that. You know,
It's when your bladder first started failing too.
yeah. but like for us, where we grew up on this type of stuff, like it's not scary anymore.
Yeah.
Unironically, being a or like making a good horror film is a hard thing to do nowadays.
Yeah. But I guess what I will say for in terms of zombie movies, for me the scariest one is probably Return of the Living Dead,
It's a good one.
because in that movie, spoiler or whatever, but the traditional tricks that you would expect to work against zombies just don't. And the
Hmm.
characters are all so fucking confused and terrified because they don't know what to do. Like,
Hmm.
there's a scene where they cut the zombie's head off and it's still alive and it's screaming in agony because of they cut its fucking head off.
Hmm.
And they're just terrified. They're freaking out, like, what the fuck do we do? Like, I don't know. I thought that would work. Like,
Yeah.
it's great. Like, just seeing like the conventions of that genre being broken like that.
Yeah.
But I do agree with you that a lot of zombie movies are very like oversaturated now. Like what was that one movie? World War Z. It's just so fucking bad. Like,
well, they have to put a new spin on zombies because just for the fact that they're not scary anymore.
yeah,
It's literally that they're not scary anymore. So what can we do with zombies now? Oh, let's make action films out of zombies. Okay, like that's what you have to go down. That's what you have to do. I would say one of my favorite zombie movies is probably I want to say Dawn of the Dead. It's a good stuff.
which one?
The George Romero one.
Okay, yeah. May he also
I
rest in peace.
I will even say that the Zack Snyder one was pretty good too, though.
That remake is Zack Snyder's best movie.
Yeah, it's actually not bad. It's a
Yeah,
pretty
it's
good movie.
pretty good, yeah.
So, like, there's one scene that I like in it where they're in no shopping mall, but there's a scene that I like where they give birth. I don't know
Oh,
if you
yeah.
remember.
Yeah, I do.
That's my baby. You know, that's a good scene. I'm like, all
Yeah,
right, cool.
it's fucking weird, yeah, it's
Yeah, like
creepy.
you don't see that, so I'm like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, uh,
But yeah, there's plenty of other good horror films. Like, have you seen Train to Busan?
yeah, that one's great, that Korean zombie movie.
Yeah,
That one's
it's
fucking awesome.
it's a damn good movie. It's
Yeah.
pretty recent too. It came out a couple years ago. I forgot how
Yep,
long.
yep,
Oh, 2016.
yeah.
It's pretty
There's
good.
there's that, there's, let me see, what else?
28 Days Later is probably one of the other great zombie films.
I think that might be the best one.
Yeah,
Not my favorite, but I think it's the best one.
it's a damn good one.
Yeah, and 28 Weeks Later too is not bad either. That one's pretty good.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah, those are
But I just don't think zombies are scary anymore,
yeah, no,
unfortunately. They just
yeah.
I don't know what you can do to make zombies scary again. They're just not scary anymore.
Nothing really, and I think zombies have kind of overstayed their welcome with shows like The Walking Dead, you know?
Yeah.
They've just, like, gone on for way too long, and the zombie craze is kind of over. I remember when it was, like, a big thing, um,
Mhm.
zombies, bacon, and mustaches. Remember that phase of
Yeah.
that America
Yeah, I
went through?
do. Yeah.
Yeah,
I can't wait till they do it like a coronavirus zombie movie. Just wait till they do that.
yeah, you already know
Calling it.
you already know it's in development.
Calling it. They're gonna call them like they're gonna call them something different, like I don't know, like virus walkers or something.
I will say one thing about this whole pandemic that we're currently going through is before zombie movies, you know how they always have that montage with the credits with the news, like, oh, this disease is spreading rapidly, like
Mhm.
I always thought that was extremely unrealistic. I'm like, how the fuck could anybody do this? Like how the fuck does anybody not just stay home and do that? But after now living through something like that, I'm like, okay, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Uh,
um,
no, I'm calling it right now. When they make a coronavirus zombie movie, they're gonna call the zombies the virus. They're just gonna call them the virus.
okay.
Calling it.
All right. Okay.
Calling it. Just give it a sec.
All right. So what if you're what are you gonna do if you're wrong?
Then I will make my own.
It's gonna make
Develop.
your movie.
Yeah, I make my own movie.
Fund your own movie. Okay. Yeah. So let me see. What else do you have? Do you have any other movie horror film franchise you want to talk about?
Oh, I got quite a bit, but I'm not sure how much we have on time here.
We got another like 20 minutes or so. Like I think that we could like this list that we have here in terms of like iconic franchises is pretty good. Like
Okay.
there's some ones that we left
Ooh,
out.
wait,
Uh-huh.
we here before we forget to leave it out because I know people would be pissed if we did.
Uh-huh.
The Thing.
Okay. The Thing. So let me ask you this. Are we doing the original and the remake or just the remake?
That's a good question because a lot of people don't. A lot of people have never seen the original.
That's true. The Thing from Another World is what it's called.
Yeah, people only have talked about like Carpenter's The Thing. So
That's true.
when
Like a
people
lot of
think,
mhm.
yeah, when people think The Thing, they think of John Carpenter's The
Yeah.
Thing, not the original.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna be pretty biased here, but like I think that The Thing is like not only one of the best horror movies, but one of the best movies ever made. period.
It's
I think
really
it's
good.
I
Yeah,
think
it
it's
is just a solid film.
I think it's John Carpenter's best by far. So for me, I'd put it like S tier.
Yeah, it's definitely an S, and, like,
Yeah.
yeah, no one I'm sure everyone could have guessed that we were gonna rate it an S, like, how could you not? Everyone loves that film. I have not met a single person that said they didn't like The Thing.
Yeah, they just don't exist. Like,
Yeah.
and there's that, and then there's assholes, you know?
Yeah. There'll definitely be your handful of contrarians going, I don't think The Thing was that good." It's
I
like,
think that
"Okay."
movie's kinda cheesy.
Yeah, it's like, "Okay, like, shut your mouth." Like, those people just want to start up arguments, but that's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. The thing is really fucking good. It's one of the movies where you watch it and you're just like, "Fuck, man, I love special effects over CGI." Like, I
Mhm.
mean, you can literally see when they remade The Thing in, like, 2008 or whatever, like, how shitty that movie looks compared to a movie that came out, like, 20 years earlier.
Yeah. And then they made the Thing prequel movie,
Yeah,
which
that's what I was talking about, where it's just like
oh,
they
yeah,
were
that
f
movie's so bad.
yeah, they just use CGI for everything, and it just looks like ass. I know
On
that there's oh, go ahead.
no, finish it.
I was gonna say, like, I know that there's an original cut of that movie where you can see the special effects they made for it, but unfortunately, one of the producers was like, "That looks too cheesy. You should do it CG."
Yeah, I was actually gonna talk about that. They were gonna make it in, just like the first one with
Mhm.
nothing but animatronics and stuff. But then it was because of the rise of CGI that
Yep.
the director thought, "Oh, if people like CGI, we should make this into CGI."
To
And
be
that
to
was a real big mistake.
to be fair to the director, it wasn't his idea. It was the producers.
Oh, was it the
It
producer?
was
Okay.
the director was very much against it, but the producers, I mean, they're paying for the fucking thing, so they're like, "No, we want it CG."
Yeah, it was a
So,
very big mistake.
yes.
Honestly, a lot of people say if it was just made the way they were going to, make it originally with animatronics, it would probably been good. But
There's still some issues, like, again, I'm something I'm sure there's a theme by now, but I really don't like it when movies explain everything.
oh,
Like, I'm just like, there's so much here that I didn't need to be explained to me. Like, I'm fine with not knowing much about the thing, you know?
mhm,
And the remake, the prequel, I mean, does kind of like restrain from that, but it's still like it's just too much. Like, I didn't need to see a prequel movie. The thing, John Carpenter's The Thing on its own is perfect.
mhm.
You know, it needs no explanation.
Yeah, it's
You
kind
know,
of yeah, you're kinda right. I think it is better if you know less about the monster.
yeah, I think it makes it scarier. Like, as Michael Myers goes on and you learn more about him, the less scary he becomes. You
Mhm,
know, because he started off as just this faceless killer, you know, who's pure evil, and then suddenly he's the pawn of a cult, and you know, like he's doing this for a blood ritual, and I'm like, that's not scary.
mhm.
That's stupid. Um, but I feel the exact same way about the thing because like the movie itself, John Carpenter's The Thing, the ending is so ambiguous. And that to me is what makes it perfect. Like you don't really know what's gonna happen next, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a really good mystery horror film.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I can go on and on about like
Dude,
the mhm.
there are so many theories for the thing.
I
There's
I
so many.
I don't like them. Like I know there's one like because at the end, spoiler, at the end they kill the thing, quote unquote. You don't really know if they do.
Mhm,
And the mystery is there's two characters left, and the mystery is one of them the thing or not? Like because the whole movie kind of plants seeds of like uncertainty and paranoia. Nobody trusts anybody anymore. Like they're all so tired and fucking cold and like miserable.
yeah.
Um, so, you know, it's the two characters just kind of sitting and drinking while their place is on fire. And they're just kind of talking and they don't really trust one another. And there's a ton of theories out there about like who is the thing? Is it this guy? Is it this guy? Yeah.
Yeah,
Which
it's
to
really
me,
good.
I like not knowing.
I think it's better not knowing because then you can think about it.
Yep. But yeah, The Thing is fucking great. It's one of the best movies ever made. It's the best remake I've ever seen. Um, but yeah, it's great.
So there you go, Thing fans. I know you guys were fucking punching your penises waiting for us to talk about it. So,
and yes, let's acknowledge that the movie bombed horribly in theaters, and critics did not like it at all.
Did they really? I didn't know that.
They fucking tore this movie a new one.
What? Why?
Yep. When the movie was released in 1982, it was reviewed pretty fucking horribly. So let me see here. So one critic wrote his review as foolish, depressing with its actors, used merely as props to be hacked, disemboweled, and decapitated, finally to be eaten and regurgitated. It's too phony to be disgusting. It qualifies only as instant junk.
Wow. That's some harsh stuff.
Roger Ebert called it a great barf bag movie.
Really?
And then someone said, John Carpenter's The Thing smells really bad. It has no pace, sloppy continuity, zero humor, bland characters on top of being totally devoid of either warmth or humanity. It's my contention that John Carpenter was never meant to direct a science fiction horror film, and The Thing might be one of the most hated movies of all time.
Jesus, what were they fucking smoking? Are you serious?
I have no idea where they got this from.
What the hell?
Yeah,
that is so weird. Maybe they're thinking about like the well, I mean, to be fair, when the movie first came out, there wasn't too many gore films. If I recall correctly, there wasn't too many of those kinds of films coming out at the time.
I really don't know.
Yeah, so I think probably these critics had never seen anything that gory and seeing like these body parts so split apart and like the dog scene and all that stuff. Like I think I understand why they say that, but that's kind of that's dumb because that's just one part of the film. Like the rest of the film is so fucking good. So I don't know what they're talking about. What the hell? I don't know. They're fucking high. I don't like critics in the first place anyways. Whatever. Critics are bad. Don't at me.
It just depends. Like it depends on we will never have a critic to me that's as like well spoken and elegant as Roger Ebert. I think he was the best one in terms of like just how he loved movies and stuff. But like modern YouTube critics, fucking awful. All of them. They're all terrible. Because they just say like the writing was bad, but they don't go into any detail as to why.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think it. Yeah.
Well, I'm mainly talking about like the actual professional, quote unquote, professional.
I think
critics.
they're the same. Like they're cut from the same cloth.
Those guys are such like they're not rating films solely on the film itself. They're rating it in terms of like a system where will this make it into will this grant an Emmy or not,
Yeah.
Or a Grammy. I forgot. Is it Grammy?
Oscar.
Oh, Oscar. Excuse me. Yeah, so it's like, well, like, is this an award-winning film? No? Okay, it's garbage.
It's terrible,
yeah. Like I hate the modern kind of critics because they're just getting paid for the Oscars awards show. That's it.
Yeah.
So I actually prefer like users and I actually prefer the YouTube critics more than the professional critics because
I don't know. I just think they're like I have a few of my favorite kind of YouTube critics that I feel like kind of deviate from that, but a lot of film criticism on YouTube to me is I can write this better. Like there's arrogance to it.
no,
To
that's
a
dumb.
lot of the criticism, and I'm
I don't
like,
listen to that.
you guys it's people who have zero idea as to how you actually make a movie. These people have no fucking clue how to actually make a movie, and they criticize it as if they had like an unlimited budget or unlimited time. You know what I mean? and I hate that shit. Like, obviously, there's a few film critics that deviate from that I do like, but I think the majority of them are really bad.
Yeah. No, I get it.
Mhm.
I don't watch too many YouTube critics. There's a couple that I
Mhm.
like.
Yeah.
One of my favorites is Red Letter Media.
Oh, Red Letter Media is great. One of the best
Ooh.
channels on YouTube.
Yeah, I love those guys. Hit us up. Hit us up.
Fucking yeah, whatever. Never do
Dude,
that.
what if they pull us on their set one of these days? Dude, come on. Oh, welcome to Mr. Plinkett's basement.
Dude,
You know?
I'd be too like turned on by Rich Evans to even function.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I guess to kind of wrap things up here, this is our final kind of tier list of movies that we talked about.
I
Uh,
think we hit pretty much all of the big guys, right?
yeah, pretty much.
Can't
There is
think
a
anymore.
lot of smaller movies that we must have missed out on, but
Oh,
there's only so much we can
yeah.
cover here.
There's
Um,
some that we missed. I definitely missed now that I'm thinking about it, like Hills Have Eyes, Hollow Man,
yeah,
Birds, Maximum Overdrive, one of the best films of all time.
but
Um,
those are kind of going like
Candyman.
those
Oh, we
movies
didn't
are
talk
kind
about
of
Candyman.
it's okay. Um,
There's
can
a lot.
the first Candyman, the original one is pretty good. The remake I heard is terrible.
Oh yeah,
So I don't know,
yeah.
but
Well, we'll talk about it next time. But
yeah,
yeah, so I think we got just about everybody. Just
yeah.
about.
So
Almost.
in the next episode of the podcast, I have a pretty exciting idea to kind of talk about horror movie characters and what you would do to like survive. Like if they
Mhm.
were coming after you, what would you do?
Oh yeah.
But we'll save that for next week because this
Oh
episode I think
yeah.
is running a little long too. Um, so thanks so much for listening to this episode of Le Crusty Couch. And we hope you go ahead and share it with all your pals and let us know what your
Mhm.
favorite horror movies are in the comments. Feel free to engage with us on that. But
Absolutely. I would
yeah,
love to see the comments. I read them all the time. The ones that we get. I really appreciate it.
yeah, me too.
Keep
I think
commenting, keep sharing. We'll be here. Keep liking us. Love
yes,
you.
we're not going
Subscribe.
away. You can't stop us.
Yeah, yeah. This is a
um,
pretty fun hobby that we've been doing, and the further we go, the more attention we grab. And never know. Maybe we'll be able to do more episodes for you guys instead of just one a week. So
true, true. All right. Well, thanks so much for listening, and we will see you guys next time.
yeah. Bye, everybody. Have a spooky weekend.